zo. Oesh, oesh.
avisar que logo mais a gente entra ao vivo. A gente está na Bélgica, na cidade de Tongeren, e está sendo um fim de tarde incrível. A gente está terminando de preparar o espaço. Logo a gente entra. Enquanto isso, vocês ouvem Tiananui, Oniquim, com o seu álbum recém-lançado numa gravação em Paris no ano passado. E a gente está aqui muito feliz de estar compartilhando com todos vocês. House.
Sirin. Ush. Ush. Sirin, 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 sirin. Pushari, 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 pushari. Hey.
Continue in English, but first warm welcome in Dutch. Dus merci allemaal om hier te zijn. Deze avond heeft best wel wat handen in de aarde gehad voordat die kon doorgaan. But we are very happy that we could organize tonight. De groep die jullie hier zien komt van Noord-Brazilië. Zij zijn een tour aan het maken in Europa. Ze waren vorige week in Zwitserland. Ze waren de week daarvoor in Parijs. In Brussel zijn ze al gepasseerd, 1,5 maand geleden. En toen ik over het verhaal, over hun... ik probeer ze tussen de twee talen in te schuiven. Maar wanneer ik hun verhaal hoorde, voelde ik wel echt een hartklopping van, dit is heel oprecht. Mathilde en Guilherme maken deel uit van Florista TV. Ze hebben dat zelf opgestart. Zoals jullie achter mij zien, dat is een hele opzet. Zij connecteren delen van de wereld die enkel met digitale media te connecteren zijn. Zelfs gaan jullie ook zien dat er een uitwisseling is met mensen in Noord-Brazilië vanavond. Dus we gaan een debat volgen. We're gonna hear what you will join, like you will share stories about evening rituals in Noord-Brazil. Ik wil ook heel graag in het bijzonder, want ik vergeet de allerbelangrijkste persoon. Medicine man, singer, very talented guy, Chana Hui. Chana Hui? Honey Queen, sorry. Super moeilijk voor mij. Thank you. In het bijzonder verwelkomen. Hij kan ook met jullie kort straks eventjes individueel in gesprek gaan, want hij is een heel persoonlijke man. Dus als jullie graag zin hebben om even iets te delen in het Engels of met een tolk erbij is nog beter. Dus super, dankjewel om te joinen. Het is ook mogelijk als het vanavond jullie aanstond om morgen terug te komen op hetzelfde uur. Ik heb al gehoord dat ze morgen andere dingen van plan zijn. Dus het gaat niet een herhaling zijn van dezelfde avond. Ze gaan iets dieper in en ze gaan ook op het muzikale wel langer door in een flow. Het hangt ook altijd van de energie af die jullie samen vanavond met die groep creëren. Dus afhankelijk van hoe diep we vandaag al gaan, gaan ze morgen nog meer in. Het is altijd fijn om dezelfde gezichten terug te zien, want dat geeft hun een warm welkom. Voilà, dus nogmaals, deze mensen zijn van heel ver gekomen. Ze hebben al een hele zware trip erop gehad. Vandaag ben ik ze in Luik mogen gaan ophalen met de trein. Ik wil hen graag een warm welkom en dat gaan we doen met een applaus. Dank je.
Good evening, everybody. So, we're really happy to be here tonight. My name is Mathilde. I'm from France, and I already apologize a bit for my English. That's not so perfect, but it's a great challenge for us to be here tonight with a movement Floresta TV. Guilherme, who is from Brazil, and obviously Chana Nui Huniquin. Leader from Unicorn People, which is with us around for 2 months around Europe. We're finishing this week in Belgium where we started, so it's quite emotional for us too to be here, back to the roots and sharing a bit about all our journey, all our work together from Amazonia, where we met Chana Nui Unicorn last year. 2 times we've been in his tribe, and now are here in several cities and countries from Europe, my continent. So just to introduce quite quickly, so as I say, I'm French, and I had a big chance and honor around 7 years ago, when I was traveling to Brazil, having my first contact with indigenous people, which has been actually Unicorn people from another tribe of his family, of his people. And for me, I used to work with international corporation, and at the moment I met them, I really start to rethink about not only my life but also my job, and the non-effectiveness maybe of our system, even of our international health system, and all like how we were missing about like learning from their way of life, their way of working, their way of being, and so I decided to offer me the time to be with them, and like thinking not only about life but also what I could do and what I should do my best, like to help them and making more sense. And so I started to create this connection like a few years after, like about like how we met so many people, so many talents, so many knowledge, so many systems and resources in Europe that could link to their own knowledge and own system and start to build win-to-win systems. So what we're rating. And last year in 2021, we met with Guilherme, which is it's hard to describe, but like a movie maker, photograph artist, scientist of the forests, and much more. And when we met, it has been like quite normal for us to also bring the best of his knowledge, technology, systems to the voice of indigenous people who were actually calling for us. It was in the middle of the pandemic situation, and many indigenous people were asking for help about keeping alive the culture and having access or being helped to develop them and being more protected and reinforce their culture with technologies. And even more that with pandemic situations have been like excluded and isolated more than ever, while it was moments that were starting to arrive internet and communications through Amazonia to the rest of the world. And indigenous people were telling us like, wow, I saw what you're doing and we wish we could do the same. We have so many messages, knowledge, received, medicines, songs to share to the planet, and we just don't have memory card or computer or knowledge to share it with you. And actually we have our elders which are dying more than ever with pandemic situation. They are threatened, and when one is dying, it's like a whole university for the planet which is quitting us. And so, and sometimes we're like trying to film them, but we cannot keep the movie because we need to dismiss it like a few days after. So what can we do? And that's how we started our movement in quite emergency situations in Brazil to lose like a lot of parts of their lands. And it's a thematic that we'll approach a bit like tonight to install like what a land has a connection with the people, the culture, and the whole system, and how also to give its best to the planet. Movement which is called Floresta TV, which is mainly that. It's a handmade TV that is we create to connect the voice and share the voice of indigenous people to the whole planet freely and directly in transparency and from heart to heart and from knowledge to knowledge. And so we started in June 2021, and since then we never stopped. That's a good part. A few days after starting this movement, we have been invited to go to Unique People tribes, several of them, which is where we met Nui. And after we've been to other movements in the capital city, where we're like huge sittings, like 8,000 indigenous people sitting in the front of the government, singing, dancing, like around 200 ethnicities, like asking for peace and being listened to the world. So we've been helping there or so. And after we've been to Europe, sharing this voice, this message, and going to around like COP26, trying to make the difference with them. And it's where we met like Hugo, which is our link from here, from Lisbon. It connects us to Liz, and we are here now. So it's a whole human story also that started from this movement. And we're now in our second tournée through Europe, all autonomous, all from place to place, like, and from people that feelings is calling to share a bit of their time, places, knowledge, technology to create, like, to share these reflections. And so, it's very important for us doing that, not only for us, but for Nui, for all these people, for all Amazonia, and helps you gonna to connect this message. It's every day it's a new journey for us. So we all co-create this moment, and we help, like, you feel at ease to, like, enjoy and ask and sing, like, what you're feeling. And just to inform you, all the image you'll be seeing. So we're live now, of course, we're on the TV. And so Guilherme will pass some image to make more contextuable what we're talking about. So about Nui's tribe and some maps and some, I don't know, songs. We have so many tools that we can share tonight. And so it's all his image, actually, made from our last 10 months traveling through Amazonia and Europe every day with indigenous leaders. So I hope you're going to enjoy. And yeah, good evening.
Primeiro vou falar um pouco na minha tradição. Em seguida eu vou falar um pouco no português também. Sakana na Joshibui com aqui Amabutsanoa Huriachan Matui com aqui Ngaran Rune com que Acre Brasil Rio Ri Matubani Mãe Chuquiran China Pã Rui Branquinho Ruim de Pã Rui Branquinho Rauch. Então eu agradeci um pouco vocês, né, na minha língua, né, na minha língua materna, que é o Ranchacuim. E também vou falar um pouco no português, a Matilde vai poder traduzir para vocês. Primeiramente quero agradecer o grande espírito do Xibu por estar aqui. Quero agradecer a Floresta TV por ter mobilizado toda essa organização de troca de conhecimento, de cultura. Eu me chamo Nui Runicuim, eu sou da origem de Nubacã e também sou um representante também, uma liderança. Ao mesmo tempo eu também sou um tchaná também. Não sou um cantor profissional, um músico, né? Eu sou um músico da minha tradição, né? Que canta para a natureza, para a floresta, para os seres. E quero agradecer ao Guilherme também pelo todo o trabalho que ele realizou na aldeia, o Nicuim. Pode logo traduzir daí, né? Senão tu não...
So, good evening. So, Nui first says that he would like to talk a bit in his in maternal tongue, which is called Ratchakrin, which is a native tongue of Huniquin people. So he make like a pray and welcome us and thanks first the great spirits that they call Yushibu. Yushibu means like great spirit, but also collective spirits that makes that we are all here together as one. And he also thanks a lot like Floresta TV, us with Guilherme for all the organization of this cultural exchange of knowledge and cultures that is living now for a few weeks with us. And he started to introduce himself. So his name is Chana Nui Huniquin, from Huniquin people. He's come from Inubake group, which means like this is actually his clan from the Jaguar. He comes from a small village that is located in the state of Acre, Brazilian Amazonia. And is a leader from the group Chana Uri, which is a group of his village, and he's also a singer, like more precisely a chana. So in Hachakuin, chana means the flying birds, which are the birds that sing their culture to the village and to the whole planet, so that they maintain all the knowledge and tradition, historical traditions, through the art of singing and playing instruments. And also it's the people that are more involved about like traveling and connecting to other culture, other worlds, through their heart and their songs.
E também venho estudando também dentro da minha tradição, né, com as medicinas sagradas da floresta. E estou aqui para poder compartilhar esse momento que vocês querem saber também um pouco do conhecimento da floresta, né? Querem saber um pouco da cultura do povo Runicuim. E trazendo, né, essa voz, né, da Amazônia. E estou muito feliz também com o Chay que recebeu nós, né, sua namorada. Muito feliz, e também o Chay que está acolhendo nós no espaço da sua residência. Gratidão pela comida.
So he also says like he's a permanent student also of the medicine of the forest, that is people, Runicuin people use like for keeping alive, like keeping very strong their traditions through a spiritual connection, through health connection, and through this all united with the forest. And so he's very happy to be here for having this moment, and he's open for guiding you and answering any question or needs you could have about in these concerns. And he finally so thanks a lot, like the people that help him to arrive here, so our friends here, through Hugo, so from Portugal, that welcome us in the other tourney with other Runicuin leader, so in December. And so he called you Chai, so my brother that opened his door for us being here and make a good food for us.
Quero nesse primeiro momento passar a palavra de volta para o Matilde e o Guilherme, que vão estar falando, depois vou estar complementando. Eu quero fazer um cântico para trazer a força, a energia de a gente poder conversar. E sempre eu gosto de cantar em pé. Eu queria que vocês puderem levantar.
Ok. Tu quer cantar primeiro ou... Tu faz um primeiro canto e depois o Guilherme fala?
Isso.
Tá.
Rausch, 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 rausch. Hawama sakui. Hawama sakui. Tere tere inuma. Ayaya ayaya. Ayaya ayaya. Hawama sakui. Hawama sakui. Tere tere inuma. Ayaya ayaya. Ayaya ayaya. Janama sakui. Janama sakui. Tiri tiri numa. Ayaya ayaya. Ai 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 Chanamı sakue Chanamı sakue Ini tini inuma Ai 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 Chanamı sakue Chanamı sakue Tini tini inuma Ai 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 Chanamı sakue Chanamı sakue Tini tini inuma Ai 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 Tachamı sakue Tachamı sakue Tini tini inuma Ai 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 Tachamı sakue Tachamı sakue Tini tini inuma Ai 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 Ouch, ouch. Então essa música, ela é cantado, são os primeiros cânticos que a gente cantamos, nossa tradição, como Rune é um cântico que chama Pacarim, né? Pacarim, ele é um dos rezos que é cantado para abertura de reunião e também para chamar a força, né, dos espíritos da floresta. Então esse cântico ele fala na terra, né? Ele fala na força da terra. E também é a terra, dentro da terra você ao mesmo instante dançar, cantar e girar com ela, né? Então é um cântico bem sagrado. Eu pude compartilhar com vocês esse momento da abertura de conversas. E Rausch, vamos em frente.
So he Luis explained a bit about the song you just shared there. So it's called Pakarim in Hachaquin. Pakarim is as the traditional songs they share, but like opening a new place, a new exchange, a new meeting or a new ceremony. So it's about like cleaning the place and letting everything all right to start the work. And it's a song that is very traditional song from its roots, and talks about the roots of Mother Earth and the fact that we're all connected to her through singing, dancing, and feeling her as well. So he's very happy to share that with you because it's the roots of his forest and of his tradition that he's sharing in a place so distant from his community.
Agora sim. Bom, boa tarde. Good afternoon to everyone. Good night. Sorry. My name is Guilherme Meneghelli. It's an honor to be here with all of you. And I'm from Brazil. I'm from south of Brazil. And I usually work as a film director to advertising and institutional ones and music videos. But from last year, I start to dedicate my time to share more the content from indigenous people. I went to Amazonia first time in 2010. Then I come back in 2019 to a Huniquim indigenous village in the city of Jordão. Then I realized we can do a lot to these people, and they really protect the biodiversity. Maybe some of you heard about this data. 80% of the biodiversity, 82% are protected by 5% of the population, the indigenous people around the world. And to do this, they need to live in the forest, and they occupy like less than 2% of the territory. This is to live integrated with the forest. And to still living in there, they really need help. The water of the rivers are too polluted, and to them receive us, they always are talking about to have water pumps and good solutions to everyone have a good experience in there. But they are living in there. It's look like we can see a lot of water around in the rivers, but the rivers, the level are too low. Acre is the western state from Brazil, and Amazonia it's like a flat. Just a second. I need to press a lot of buttons here. Sorry. I'm arriving. I'm trying to get a better computer, but it's really hard. This work, we don't know about money. This is the reality of Amazonia. It's a very flat terrain, and Acre have like 250 meters. And what we can see is something like this, maybe this, or okay, this. I like this, and I like also this safe soil. This I really loves. We need to connect with this concept. We need to look to the ground and to protect, to preserve. At the right, for example, we are looking to a farm, and this is a reality to all Amazonia. This is systemic. Where we see cities, the farms starts to grow, and they starts to cut trees. In the left side, we have an indigenous land. I will show when we are talking. I show images from drone from his lands, and his neighborhoods are destroying the forest on his rhythm, and this is a cultural thing. And we are realizing we can really contribute to preserve the forest, bringing more the culture of these people, of Huniquim people and other people who lives not only in the forest, but we become to look more to the biomes. So Amazonia, it's one huge biome, and we have a lot of other biomes, and we start to think crossing frontiers, dissolving frontiers, because we need to look to life. And the biomes, it's how life organizes itself in nature. And to live integrated in nature, we need to take care of our friends. In these perspectives, we are looking more, culture, spirituality, education, and reforestation. And also biodiversity. This is biodiversity. And to this happen, we need to... We need to preserve this phenomena, for example, the flying rivers phenomena, because the flying rivers, it's the practice, it's the carbon who the trees remove from the sky and convert to nutrients and stock, a lot of carbons, and release. Each tree release 500 liters of water each day. So they have water, a lot of water in Amazonia, but the water to drink, it's polluted. And to take water from the rain, for example, it's a cultural thing, and they need more equipment, and they need different solutions. These are, everything of this is new, and we are talking about the last 20 years. The things changed a lot in this place. I will show again this map. because after I will show Acre in the Google Maps, you see, and Acre it's in this. Let me see if my cursor. No, it don't appear. Sorry, I tried. Acre have these thin rivers, and from the last 20 years to now, the level of water goes too down, and they have like 15, 30 centimeters of water, and they go by boats in the rivers, and the farmers use also the rivers, and they put a lot of trash in the rivers also, and chemicals about to do farming, and we become to create our solutions, to integrate, to express their voices with these tools. I usually use all this kind of stuff to do advertising. Now we can become we are using this to show more true and cultural things that can really changes our perspectives from what's happening in the forest and how the things could be. Today we invited a friend from a company from Brazil, Lucas from Comchai. He's a young guy like me, like Matilde, like Nui, and he went to the forest, and he come back to the forest to put water pumps and to install solar panels and also internet. And this is also a thing we are discussing with a lot of people, bringing this to everyone to talk about this, because they want internet, but they are dropping more seeds in the internet. But the way the internet arrives in there is very important, and we are looking to this to put more in the education pipeline. For example, connecting a very far indigenous village, the kids talking with kids of other city around the world, from Paris, Rio de Janeiro, or from here. And we become to see the opportunities of these exchanges brings more and more solutions to them, to Amazonia. And well, this is me, and I'm very happy to be here with you, and I have to press a lot of buttons, and now I will pass the word to Nui again. Thank you.
Sim, cumprimento. Enquanto isso, tu liga meu celular ali pra minha filha no violão. Então, voltando mais uma vez, o Guilherme pode ir traduzindo se ele quiser. Matilde é só tirar o violão também. Essa é a realidade da Amazônia, né? A gente vive bem ainda onde existe floresta, que é o Acre. E a realidade do Acre, para lá você vai poder estudar com umas plantas, né? Poder ver o rio, animais, fica mais no centro da floresta. E nós, como povos indígenas, né? A nossa preocupação é poder preservar, né, a floresta, poder manter a natureza sempre em um bom ânimo para que ela possa existir até a existência das nossas vidas, porque sem a floresta, né, ninguém poderia respirar um ar de pureza, né, qualidade. E também a terra não pode ter uma sustentabilidade de se manter, né, mais firme. Então precisa da floresta. E precisamos também preservar a água também, né? Precisamos zelar do rio, dos igarapés. E também o lixo também, que é uma coisa que precisamos cada vez poder manter o lixo onde ele pode ser guardado, né, para não poluir a natureza. Então nós como os povos indígenas, a gente trabalhamos isso em nossa terra.
So here we wanted to make some complement a bit like what we just shared and said. So he said, we come, so as you can see here, from a very traditional and very one of the most remote place of all Amazonia, which is called State of Art. So where basically it's the biggest concentration of indigenous ethnicities that you can find in whole South America and actually in the world. So with these people, so they live as they always used to, or nearly, as communities, and they try to preserve their way of life because they see the impact they have, the positive impact they used to always have on the forest and all the system which is around. But nevertheless, as Guilherme says, the last years they see a lot of changings about pollution, garbages, invasions, the quality of water, the quality of the plantations, and so they're feeling really the urgency to find solution to keep all the biosystem and all the forests alive, and also the way of life being able to continue as they always used to, because their way of life is how they can make their work in peace and maintain all the work they're doing for not only their village or their forest, but for the whole planet.
Também preservando também a cultura, né? Valorizando a cultura que é do nosso povo, né? Que é a nossa raiz. É um povo que não tem sua identidade, que não tem sua cultura, é um povo sem espírito, né? Então a gente precisamos manter nossa espiritualidade, e as nossas forças, elas estão nas medicinas que são da floresta, né? Então medicina que cura, medicina que traz harmonia para a vida, e na medicina a gente descobre mais, enxergar mais um palmo, né? Fora o que nós enxergamos, né? Então não vivemos em só um mundo material, mas podemos enxergar um pouco o mundo espiritual que existe de tudo nesse planeta. E a gente tem alguns impactos pela BR que vai o Acre, que passa até o Juruá. E também temos o outro lado da nossa aldeia, temos impacto de algumas pessoas que trabalham, né, como agronegócio, como fazendeiros, mesmo que eles não atacam, mas a gente pode ver que tem aí, né, onde o Guilherme mostrou que o lado da aldeia tem mais floresta, e o lado das pessoas que trabalham com essa realidade de criação de gados e outras partes é mais campo, né? Então, mas para isso a gente precisa também ouvir vocês também, né? O que vocês podem nos ajudar, também nos apoiar, nos dar ideia. Tudo pode servir. O conselho de um pode ajudar o outro, né? Então isso é importante, trazer, né, essa realidade da Amazônia para vocês. E também quando vocês quiserem ir na Amazônia, é a casa de vocês também, né? De poder conhecer a Amazônia. Então queria poder compartilhar um pouco, né, disso aí, que momento que a gente está vivendo com a Amazônia. Temos um político muito duro no Brasil, que é, vamos dizer, um anti-índio, né? E isso, várias lideranças têm ido num congresso, né? Para não deixar algumas coisas acontecer, mas há muitas coisas acontecendo no Brasil, então é uma preocupação para nós.
So, and also, we started this long speech saying that for them, everything is connecting to the fact of having a rich and such alive culture and spirituality that actually comes from the forest and all these medicines, which are they're really connected to them. It's how they are cultivating their way of life and their earth and the connection to brothers' messages and vision of the all completion of the planet and of this feeling and this reality of being one. So it's how they always lived and want to keep living, and it's what they want to share. They know they have to share it to the world, so because they know that many people needs to reconnect to these roots. And that's why it's important to preserve all the system, because it's where and it's what we live with them. It's everything interconnected, and it's also what they want to share to us, like the understanding how is everything interconnected, and how it's important for us to being part of the system where we all have our place and something to offer. So it says that more than ever, and that's why he's here. He's traveling to share the voice of the forest, a bit of information and images of what's going on, because it's very important for everybody being informed. That more than ever, this context, both political, which is very critical in Brazil about preservation on indigenous land, but also of how climate change and pollution, as they do see very concretely in the territory, in the quality of their life, is connected to us, like for on consumption or politics and what we helping. And also, but it's connected to the solutions that we might have sometimes in our talents, in our knowledge, in our technologies that we can start to share and bring together. So it's what we wanted to give as introduction. So it has to happen also the debate for knowing a bit about yourself and the needs and the solutions you might have all together. So but first, before that, he wished he could offer us a bit of music, so that we're gonna have to go deeper, not only for our mental, but from the real heart and deep spiritual connections that they want to share with us.
Então é isso, né, Guilherme? Eu gostaria de compartilhar um pouco as suas ideias, né? Falando da floresta. E para isso eu acredito que o objetivo nosso é de poder encontrar parcerias, né? De poder fazer projetos em prol a cultura, né? A floresta. Ter essa ligação, né, com o povo originário. Hoje o Guilherme fez esses trabalhos, ele não cobrou um centavo à aldeia, nem está cobrando, ele está divulgando, né, já foram uns chai que foram lá no Brasil e estão implantando um poço de água, né, várias coisas, né, então tá fazendo o melhor, né, deixando um legado de uma história legal, né, para o povo originário, e isso me faz com que tenha um bom ânimo de poder seguir, trabalhar como líder também. É trazer essa mensagem, né? Não estou só falando do povo Unicuim, mas do povo da Amazônia, né? Vamos dizer que o Acre, ele é um pedaço do Brasil mais amoroso. Porque o Acre é onde você vai encontrar as plantas de poder no Acre.
And so just before starting, so he says that really making this intercultural exchange and being here, for him, it's a confirmation that we can all give our parts and doing our best, as for example Guilherme is doing with Floresta TV, that has been for example 2 times in Amazonia in his tribe actually, and now is guiding also the system not for free, in the way that is not asking nothing to the indigenous people. On the contrary, he's asking what they need so that he can give his best for them being helped. And for example, we're totally independent, but we're trying to help in the images of Guilherme, pictures of some films now are starting to help some projects on the field, some crowdfundings or some concrete projects, so that they could being help. We also registering singers, music, so that they can be shared and being respected to the world. And for him, it's a really important work to be done and to be shared, so that you can also see that it's not only talking, but it's a real life that we are all part of.
Se cada um de nós plantar um pé de planta, de árvore, eu acredito que vai fazer diferença. Natureza, né? Tanto faz aqui na Amazônia, né? Porque aqui também precisa, né? Manter a floresta mais viva. E nós também precisamos, né, da força de lá também, né? Da onde vem também esse ar que está menos poluído da Amazônia, né? Então eu vou poder trazer mais uma música. E também nós temos né, medicina também do rapé, se alguém gostar de querer conhecer no final, né? Tem também lancei um CD, tá com 2 anos e esse ano agora foi publicado. E estamos aí para compartilhar, então a gente vai fazer um cântico, né? Matilde aí que tá nessa linha aí estudando também o cântico Runicuim. E estamos compartilhando. E se vocês tiverem outro instrumento que queira acompanhar também, estão convidados.
So yeah, you know happening about like connecting to a musical moment where he invited me to sing since he is my teacher, unique teacher about singing, and so inviting everybody that feels that to connect and take his instruments, singing, dancing, so that after we'll be happier and even more connected to keep on our debates and solutions, collective solutions.
Ok? Mai ma, tuma putu mai ma, putu mai mata no ne ne ane ane 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 ne ne ane ane. Tuma putu mai ma, ruma putu mai ma, putu mai mata no ne ne ane ane ne ne ane ane ne ne ane ane ne ne ane ane. Kawane, Domatina Kawane, Kawane, Anuri, Nene, Ane, Ane, 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 Nene, Ane, Ane. Domatina Kawane, Domatina Kawane, Kawane, Anuri, Nene, Ane, Ane, Nene, Ane, Ane, Nene, Ane, Ane, Nene, Ane, Ane. Kana tara uma kana tara tara boy mane ne ane ane ne 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 ne ane ane. Awa kana tara uma kana tara tara boy mane ne ane ane ne ne ane ane ne ne ane ane ne ne ane ane. Yar uma tanto yar piana boy ma ne ne ane ane 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 ne ne ane ane. Awanta picana yar uma tanto yar piana boy ma ne ne ane ane ne ne ane ane ne ne ane ane ne ne ane ane. Kana yar uma kana yar kanguana boy ma ne ne ane ane ne Uma cana, canaiar, uma cana, canaiar, cancoar na boi, mane, nea, 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 nea. Pashi bawaneiro, uma pashi bawane, bawaneira, cane, nea, 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 nea. Bawaneiro, uma pachi bawane, bawaneira, cane, nea, 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 nea. Bawaneiro, bawaneiro, maneiro, bawane, bawaneira, cane, nea, 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 nea. Bawaneiro, maniço, bawane, bawaneira, cane, nea, 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 nea. Uma futura waneiro, uma futura waneira, waneira, cane, nea, 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 nea. Uma cultura maneira, maneira, cane, nea, 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 nea. Uma baixa chamar, uma baixa chamar, baixa charaba, mane, nea, 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 baixa chamar, uma baixa chamar, baixa charapa, mane, nea, 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 nea. House, house. Mais uma. Tá bom então. Vai cantar mais um. Para o copo do chai. falar um pouco, né, desse cântico.
Claro.
Esses cânticos que eu cantei, eles são usados em rituais, né, de cerimônia, né. É um trabalho também com a floresta, com as medicinas também. E também a gente canta em alguns momentos de reuniões, de danças culturais. Então a música, ela traz essa alegria, né? Tem um dizer no português, quem canta todos os males espanta. Então quem vive cantando, né? Então ele tem é como um pássaro, né? Um pássaro que você tem saúde, né? Tem alegria dentro de si, então para cantar. E aí cada cântico desse ele vai falando, né? E cada diuxibo que foi criado pelo grande espírito, né? Natureza. Então, quer dizer só... Nai quer dizer o céu, né?
Esse é o último, né?
Uhum.
Tá, eu vou primeiro traduzir
Tá.
essa parte. So, here we want just to explain a bit the three songs you just shared to us, which are traditional musics that they are used to share during medicinal ceremonies, but also when they are in collective groups or in a meeting. So that it's music that brings what they call the force. So it's the energy and the great connections that generally the rituals and the plants can brings to you, but also the collective happiness, the collective music gives you, has a feeling of being together, being one, and being in joy, because it says it's a way of life. Like it's not for him. Like what is sharing is not only a moment, like today or next week. It's about like a daily way of life and a state of spirit, state of arts, whereas they're always living and trying to keep alive in culture as a group, as a village. And so it's three music that calls all the spirits of Mother Earth and of all the roots where we come from. So it's actually they talk about all the spirits that we are part of, and it was starting to resume the last song. So, tu quer fazer a tradução da última música?
Da última música, né? É isso aí mesmo que eu tô falando, né? E a gente canta pra você ir mirar e caminhar dentro da floresta, né? E você vai... dentro da medicina você vai descobrir várias coisas, né?
Nanã, então.
Nanã quer dizer o som da música, né?
Sim.
Ni quer dizer...
Ni é a floresta.
É um verbo também de complementar a música, né? De trazer vamos dizer que é um tom de trazer a alegria, né? E Ni quer dizer que significando toda a floresta. Toda a floresta, né?
So the last song, for example, talks about like it's very hard to resume because their tongue it's so broad and so broader than we can even imagine, and it's one of my biggest fascination and difficulty to introduce to you, because their indigenous tongue says a lot about how they perceive and how they act on the reality, and it's very broader language that we do have today as in English or French or Portuguese even. But so he was explaining that Nana, so it's about like involving the music and the movement, and Ni is a forest, but not the objects. It's just forest in its totality. So it's about like growing in movement with the rhythm and the reality of the forest to feel the connection and having vision of the whole totality through their medicine plants that go deeper in this connection. Algo a mais?
E vai falando, cada palavra vai falando, né? Ruxu quer dizer uma coisa branca, né? Nauá quer dizer um povo. E Aimbu quer dizer uma mulher, então quer dizer o mesmo, dizer a jibolha branca, né? Ruxu Nauá Aimbu, quer dizer uma jibolha branca.
For example, so it talks about the the phrase Hushu Nawaimbu. So Hushu is it's a white spirit, and Nawa it's people, as people, and Imbu it's a woman. So after it says, so it's the spirit of the Jiboya. It traduces like that because the Jiboya for them it's one of the most important animal. It would be the equivalent of the boa in English. So it's a snake, which is really important in their tradition, which represents the spirit of the medicine and of the beginning of the humanity and from their own tradition. And it's feminine energy that brings the knowledge and the art, like through the arts and through the medicines to us. So from there, like one phrase is like a whole story of whole humanity that it could talk us about for hours. So we can't go so long today, but it's just for you understanding the universe. Like they live, they try to keep alive, and they want to share with us. House. Galera, como está a conexão?
Agora, bom
pode chamar as pessoas?
Sim, talvez
bom
botar
ele mostrasse um pouco do clipe, né?
Sim, que daí
e também mais
vou introduzir,
imagens.
que daí tu faz a chamada.
Pode ser, tem que mudar um sistema aqui.
Like that?
Pode
Tá.
mudar tudo.
So now Nui has for us to share another music, but now from this system. It's a music we registered like in his community last year with his family. And I wanted to share you so that you can see some images of his village and his whole family, but also for you to see what we can do together with some technologies that everyone is able now to maybe bring or share or try to invite inside the community, which can be his one or anyone or you one. Like just giving a bit of your time, knowledge, and of your best for creating something together. And he's very proud of that because now we are helping Nui to launch his career as a singer, traditional singer. So last week we were in Paris and we registered like an album and like some music so that will be worked in new ways, like with other voices, with DJs, works, and other singers, because it's also something there actually Nui is very open to, because he considered like bringing new instruments, new knowledge, new technologies help to go broader in culture, to do it richer, and also to go like close to other culture. So it's a work we're doing together, like Guilherme is doing. And so the clip the movie clip is on YouTube, for example, and it's about like also to go on Spotify. So it's something we learn to them to be autonomous and being in respect also of the culture. For example, all the image has been made on the day in his village and all the registers and on the night. So we were with the system and the community, and the school of the community, and we were choosing together what's the image in what the noise he wanted to share to the world as like very representative of his feeling and message. So it's also for us about learning back from the roots of our work and learning together.
sirim. Puxari. Pacutim. Grupo Tchanauri, diretamente da floresta amazônica. Agora eu vou passar aqui também para as meninas deixar.
Many cables to do that. Thanks a lot for the attention. Thanks a lot for Guilherme and Ori's job, but like filming and like doing all this work. Like first learning back to listen. It's how we work. Like listen there, and the ways we want to work, and just giving the best we can so that we can create together. And as I say, so all the image you have seen has been filmed with Nui and created like all the movies and this clip, for example, like together, so as we can be sure that the good message is being shared to you. So you have been like, it's an invitation to go a bit in this village, because it's something also like very important for Honeyqueen people, is sharing their way of life and being very open to interconnections. So it works with connectivity and also being able to receive you and, for example, in the tribe, in the community, but also being able to keep connected with you. And it's one of a small topic we wanted to go a bit closer today, before going back to culture and musics, because tonight we have the opportunity to be on live and on connected to other people, because it's how we work as a TV. We share the possibility to other people connect to us while we are in these events. And so like 2 weeks ago, for example, we were in Geneva in a theater, and we have been in a live session with one of the most remote people from Amazonia, which is a tribe that you need to travel 2 days by boat, and after 2 days walking just to arrive in the first village. And it's a village of Marubo people, which is a people that no one speak Portuguese yet. They're very, very traditional. Like and so we were connected to them, and they were in the tribe because they had internet installed quite soon. Tá. Então faz, então. Tá no link?
Meu? Não, a Matilde tinha falado desde o início, mas ela esqueceu em algum momento.
Tá, botar aí pra mim. Sorry, like kind of technical problem. And so yeah, we have been we had this possibility to be connected to a super remote tribe while we were in a theater in Geneva, singing for the peace and sharing culture and sharing reflection about technology. So it's a possibility that we can create today all together, and that is changing realities. For example, this community is evolving a lot since now she has internet, because the internet for tribes that at least ask for it, it can be an evolution in the sense that if they are helped to really use it well and use it for making projects and reinforcing the culture, sharing their roots, it's a positive aspect. And now we're connecting actually with a Brazilian partner that makes that possible. And that wanted to share a small word to us so that you can understand better also how it concretely works on the field. And so we'll be on Zoom, sharing there and talking together. So open to any ideas, suggestions or questions. Tá? A gente vai entrar ao vivo com começar.
Alô, tá me ouvindo?
Sim, boa noite. Good night.
Boa noite, Lucas, tudo bem? So
we are now in Belgium, and we were sharing, like I think you were a bit earlier in our live, sharing about Q2, forest, and technologies, and I was introducing a bit of your job and all the importance of doing it. I explained the experience we live all together 2 weeks ago in Ginebra about being connected to my group of people from one of the biggest European capital, and how it can change the whole reality for community, for all people, for Europe also. And so if you want to share a bit about what you do, how it works, we're together.
Thank you so much, Matilda, Guilherme, Nui. Thank you all tonight. It's a great opportunity for me to show you guys the kind of work we've been developing for the last 3 years with the indigenous tribes. The DNA from the company is mine because I'm the founder, and as a psychologist, I had the goal to deliver better education to those schools that are usually really unfunded. So they have, really poor quality. And as a strategy, I will bring you the argument that if we strengthen the education and culture of those communities, you're going to have the Amazon protected. So having this approach, this psychological approach, I want to show you guys back when Guilherme explained to us with the picture of one side of the river being more devastated than the other one. They were showing this particular indigenous land, which is the Caoutchouc. So here you can see how one side is way more devastated than the other one. And this is something that happens everywhere, actually. All those white spots here are the beginning of this advanced stage here. So you can measure by that all those areas that are in white color are going to be protected if they have their identity as indigenous tribes. And we have been really amazed how efficient it is if you basically deliver to them what's their basic need. So I'll let you know that Konchai, it's like a boat sailing in a green ocean, where this green ocean is the Amazon, and we look at this opportunity to deliver really low cost and highly efficient solutions. So we have a really new way of thinking about technology, that it should be used, but with, I would say, guidelines, basically. And we, after 3 years developing our company, our network of partners, we have acquired the trust from the leadership of the communities. So basically, we have a really straightforward communication, and we can deliver highly specialized counseling by experts in numerous areas. And we obviously thank the Amazon as all their integrants. So we have the people that are not indigenous but live by the river. And we have NGOs that we provide service, companies, and city halls from all the state of Acre, especially. And this is an old map. You can now have an updated map if you go at our website, konchai.com. And here we have the Amazon map, where you can basically dive into any community and check what's up, basically. What's their story? You can see videos. Briefly, shortly, really soon, we're gonna have the projects here, so you can basically donate or buy an NFT to the cause of the selected community. And our goal that I want to deliver to you, remind you guys, is that we want to deliver education to those communities. So it's not an easy task. For us to deliver high quality education, we need to deliver several other solutions before that. The first one is a smart way to connect to the internet. We call it smart Wi-Fi. Basically, it blocks porn and allows fathers and mothers to regulate time of use and quantity of use of their children. So for communities that have the open internet from the government, they have a lot of issues, a lot of problems, and it's really stressful for the families. So this is a really highly demanded service we provide, and it's custom made. Each community has a particular way of using the internet for their best. We obviously have to deliver energy, so we work with the best quality equipment there is in the market. Our batteries will only be changed after 20 years. And that's a huge difference when you look to the other brands that you change every single 2 or 4 years. One thing that seems obvious to us, but sometimes it isn't, it's that clean water, drinkable water, is really rare in the Amazon, and they usually ask for clean water sometimes before the internet or even the energy. For them, it's really crucial for them to have this, safe and easy access for drinkable water. And by doing that, we also have to deal with the treatment of that water and the sewer that the villages produce. So we have this really sustainable way of using biotech to treat the sanitation of the community. And then we arrive at the culture part, where it's really key for us to act in those villages, aiming to protect, preserve, and promote all their integrity, basically. So we see that by taking people to visit the communities, we can do it in the best of the overall well-being. So basically, there's never a money exchange between the service provided of the tourism that generates revenue for the community and any leadership. We only deliver the services that I have talked before. So basically, the whole community can benefit from a group of tourists that arrive at the village. And education is the end goal of Vonk. And we have now, we actually just came from a meeting at a school with the coordinators of the several segments of the school. What we aim to do is to connect the kids from the forest, basically, and the city. So it's been a really, we have been receiving really positive feedback from that experience. You can see some images at our Instagram, and obviously for them, it's a huge excitement to be connected to other kids that don't speak Portuguese and to have a translator and get to know them better. So just to wrap it up, we have this unique way to see how our technology that we have the know-how how to implement in the Amazon can benefit those communities and families. So there's some data that we trafficate more than 4 terabytes of internet to those communities. We are always looking to seek for a better providers, and we would benefit if somebody had the network to help us in that manner. Sometimes we think that the only help we can do to help the Amazon is to provide finance and money resources, but it ain't. If you make things easier for technology to arrive there, I mean, that can literally save thousands of lives. And there is a say, I like to say that if you want to deliver a really specific, crazy idea to solve a problem in the Amazon, we can deliver you that solution because uh, uh, we have mastered the logistics in the Amazon, which is kind of insane. If you think about, you can arrive in China. I mean, you can have dinner in your place, and 2 days later you can have dinner in China. But some places in the Amazon, you take like 15 days, 20 days, sometimes a month by boat. So it's really hard to work in those conditions. There are a lot of dangerous species. We have had one technician who got bit by a snake, and we had to move him by helicopter. So we've acquired a lot of know-how how to do any kind of business or experience in the Amazon. We are about to launch the NFT project, the NFT that will basically certificate an investment into a community or a set of communities. And last but not least, the most key aspect of solving problems in the Amazon is to have a really good strategy. If you don't have a really clear idea of all the milestones you gotta achieve and what are the obstacles, then it's better for you not to invest in any initiative. We have a brief story. In August 2019, I went by myself to install this spot. And after a couple of months, we had already 3 installations. The one of São Vicente, this one is at the Kuntanawa. I always had the concern to deliver them, like the know-how of what is that you're seeing. So that technology is internet. So how does it work? Basically, it's really easy. I called him. Actually, they have set up the antenna, and then they actually got the signal right. So they basically had the idea of how easy it is for them to become a technician. And today we have already one Marubo technician who doesn't speak that much of a Portuguese, but he does the job pretty well, and he serves his whole indigenous land. This is a set of villages we have at the Vale do Javari, at the U2E. We have a special project for this set of villages. I'm going to show you guys. This is a Pacavanawai village. You can see the traditional Marubo construction, which is really well valued by all the other tribes because they do live like the ancient mythology, where the families just live uh, everybody together in the same maloca. You can see the newest type of constructions. It's where they basically keep all their stuff, which are new, such as chainsaws and tools. I would like to, before I can say thank you, I would like just to invite you guys to take a look at this map at conchai.com. You can travel around all the villages. Just click on them, and then you can contact us to just get in touch to expand our network and start receiving informations of basically opportunities that are happening between the tribes. We are doing special courses between the tribes. So basically, some of the villagers from Macri want to start doing the Malacca the old way, and the Marubus to do it. And we are gonna basically do this change of knowledge between the tribes. And I think now I'm ready to say thank you guys for the attention. So I think, yeah, questions. Eu não tô conseguindo escutar direito, não.
Esse não é daqui. Não sei se a caixa tem.
Alô? Agora eu tô ouvindo o Guilherme.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Tô te ouvindo agora, perfeito.
Okay. So, can I ask in English? I'm Portuguese, but I think it's better for everyone.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, for English, yeah.
So I want to make a clear question because some interrogations came to me. In what measure internet will in the forest help for real the indigenous people? How you believe that you can really help these people to be connected with the rest of the world? Because and also education, you promoting the education and that you were talking about. What's the idea is to implement this kind of education in the indigenous, because they also have a beautiful education. So where is the frontier of until where we should go, and how much we should not do it? So this is the two questions that I have, because I think it's important, and I know all of your work a little bit more connected with them, but I think this is very important to understand, because I was a little bit confused, without some doubts about this. So you can answer.
Yeah, sure. If I remind them. Oi, posso? So let's do the internet part first. So a good starting point is for us to experience ourselves to just not using our smartphone with internet, and then we will start to feel a little bit of their need, but their need is amplified 1,000 times, because the places where those communities are, I mean, they are really far away from the city. So I will tell you one example, okay? From Capivanawai to Benjamin Constant to Atalaia do Norte, which is this small city here. If they want to get resources by boat, they got to spend 3,000 reais with gasoline alone, not considering food, not considering the place where they will sleep at Atalaia do Norte. Okay? So that's a really big, extreme example. All this length is just horrendous. But this village can arrive, can go to the city, Cruzeiro do Sul, doing a 45 kilometers path into the jungle. Now they have this village here, which basically is a support village for all the indigenous from the Vale Javari, which are not only the Marubo, okay, but the indigenous from the Vale Javari to sleep at night, because it's really rough to walk 45 kilometers in a day. They do it. It's quite common for them because They're marubu. They're really good at it. I've done it once, never again. I'll never, suggest somebody to do that. It's mind blowing. So them having the internet here, just for this example, after the 45 kilometers, you gotta get a 3-hour boat ride with a really good boat that costs quite a price for them. So basically, just in economic terms, it's really useful for them to save money, and money saved is better quality of life. But that's one example. You can say that it allows them to have a better education. Basically, it keeps them safe in certain regions, such as this in Xingu, right here. So we have uh, 5 actually village project to install solar and then internet, because those are strategic spots to be communicating. Basically, they gotta allow people in the world to know if this guy here is going beyond the limits of the indigenous land. And let me show you this. So if you consider, if you take only in consideration the potential of every single dot of this map to be a safeguard of the Amazon, you can avoid a lot of deforestation. And again, in terms of rights, it's basically their right, even though they don't speak Portuguese. For example, the communication, I've seen it between these tribes here in Val Javari and also at the Runicuim here in Acre. They don't speak Portuguese. They speak their language. So, I mean, as a nation, why shouldn't they be allowed to speak with their relatives that live far away? So, yeah, in terms of that, on top of that, we also, block porn and allow them to have better control, because we are used to an open internet. You do whatever you want. Actually, you're a slave of it. And in the communities now, we have this new paradigm where people just, have this low anxiety, life, because they know what time they will basically be connected, and at the rest, you're at the Amazon. It's pretty relaxing. Them doing their daily chores. And regarding the education, well, as far as we have the experience and the academic background, what we are doing, it's basically allowing them to have, first of all, quality of life in terms of health, in terms of sustainable economic projects, where they're going to learn, for example, how to do soap, and then selling this natural soap from their community to companies or whomever wants to buy it, and generating revenue. So I think the line is, as you said, it's made where they draw it. Basically, we are, again, we have anthropologists. I'm a psychologist. We have a lot of. I mean, I've been in the Amazon at least once since 2014. It might not seem much, but I have a lot of different projects we executed, and a lot of mistakes, and even trouble by doing that. I'm really transparent regarding my story in the Amazon. It's really tough to deal with different cultures, and sometimes it's really hard to know where the line is drawn. But it's part of the of life. It happens in the city, in the forest, everywhere. And I hope I've answered your question properly.
I think so. Thanks a lot, Lucas, for your answer. quite complete and all the information. Now I will pass the talk to Louis that wanted to talk about his vision concerning technologies, internet in his community, because actually he's asking for it, like a project of implementing internet in community, and he wants to explain why and keep on sharing also some information and music about his culture before we end with a small concert here. Okay, so you can keep connected, because after maybe we'll open for other questions, and we'll see if other are linked to that. Okay, see you.
Sure.
Né, pra falar pouco da internet.
Então, so before, like, to talk us about like connectivity, Nui wants first to connect us with the music, and after explain about his vision to what Lucas and we us shared before about this huge question.
caminhar no andado da jiboia, vamos 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 caminhar no andado da jiboia. Cantar minha cultura, vou cantar minha tradição. Da samba uma, vou cantar com gavião. Vou cantar minha cultura, vou cantar minha tradição. Subir da samba uma, vou cantar com gavião. Mana e bubu, butã. Sawata kaya oi, kikiyo. Mana e bubu, butã. Sawata kaya oi, kikiyo. Mana e bubu, butã. Sawata kaya oi, kikiyo. Bane bubu butã, skawata kaya oi kiki. Bare bubu butã, skawata kaya oi kiki. Bare bubu butã, skawata kaya oi kiki. Ushai bubu butã, skawata kaya oi kiki. Ushai bubu butã, skawata kaya oi kiki. Bishi bubu butã, skawata kaya oi kiki. Bishi bubu butã, skawata kaya oi kiki. Nanani 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 Eu só complementar um pouco, né, da palavra do Chay Lucas. Eu conheci ele no Rio de Janeiro quando eu vinha para cá. E também falar, né, a importância, né, da tecnologia. A tecnologia ela vai ajudar mais na aldeia assim no sentido da comunicação, né? Principalmente com vocês que estão desse lado de cá, que a gente pode manter informações, parcerias e também para, né, ajudar nas lives também, que pode ajudar nos projetos da aldeia de construção de cupichaus, né, para valorização da cultura. O projeto da água também, placa solar. Então acho que a internet ela vai ajudar nesse sentido aí. Também registrar algumas coisas mais importantes dos nossos anciões e também vai ajudar também no estudo, porque nós estudamos também, nós temos escola, né, nossa aldeia, então algumas pesquisas, nós não só estudamos a cultura, né, nós estudamos desde português, matemática, história, né. Hoje o Estado, ele inclui os povos indígenas como se fosse um brasileiro mesmo, né, que possa participar de tudo que existe. Então, na maioria das aldeias hoje já estão tendo tecnologia, né? Que é a internet. O nosso cuidado como líder é sempre conscientizar as crianças e os jovens a ter esse controle, né? De talvez não se ligar em outros ritmos que o mundo oferece, mas que possa usar a ferramenta com objetivo e que seja seja um conteúdo que ele possa aprender, né? Dentro da tecnologia. Ok.
So here, we wanted to go give his vision like about what we just share between Floresta TV and Lucas from Comchai. So he say I knew Lucas before coming here, and we talk a lot about his project and the need I see in my community. And what I see from my point of view, like technology is a tool that can really help communities to keep alive and more alive actually today, even more like facing all facing like as changes. And he says like first of all you see a possibility to go to maintain alive and to go and give richer the possibility to register culture and share it to the world. It's very important also to keep connected and share projects and campaigns and giving the returns also of the projects. So for example, you say like, no, I'm traveling through the world, I want to keep connected with you, and tomorrow when I'll be back in my community, I want to be able for us discussing the project together to see how it's going, what we can do together, what we can best, and I want you to show the results of my work with all my community so that we can keep on going on. And also the day you're going to the community, it's pretty sure you will be happy to share so that to the world, and sharing is their way of life to the whole planet as a system, so that is positive. And last but not least, I say the most important, so you see, it's about helping education, because it says people that love studying, and they study a lot of things like their traditions. So, for example, in Honeyqueen people are they call a differential system, school system, where they study both traditional and indigenous knowledge in original tongue, but they also study as Brazilian people. So they study mathematics, astrology, I don't know, everything, sciences. So for that they need, as we do have, the minimum, the basics of tools and possibility to learn and to go deeper in some research. They have many young people that want to make diploma, to make researches, to keep connected, but in protecting also their way of life in their territory. So they know it's sometimes being a lawyer or being a scientist that they can do this bridge. So it's a right actually that they feel they can have, as we do. And the key for him as a leader, he sees that it's about conscientization and like leading the young people for intelligent use of these tools. As any kind of tool, you can use it positively or negatively. So, it's about, give consciousness about. It's a tool for going broader in our culture, in collective consciousness, and not the contrary. And for that, like as Concha was explaining, Lucas, it exists today systems, like for example, you have internet only on the time which are not collective tribe time. So that you don't cut the original way of life. You open internet when it's studying or connective or lifetime. So that you regulate and don't cut the traditional way of life, the times they have like to be together as a community. Tu quer aprofundar?
Então é isso, né, Chay? É mais ou menos esse o objetivo, né, de poder se conectar e ter cuidado, né? Então a cultura, ela não vai enfraquecer. A gente está cada vez estudando para repassar esse conhecimento, né? Inclusive aqui, só aproveitando, eu tenho uma vivência no mês de agosto desse ano, que ela é uma vivência de 10 dias, né? Então, ela é uma festa que nós oferecemos aos visitantes, né? Que vão nos visitar e também para vivenciar um pouco da cultura do povo runicuim. Então, essa vivência, ela inicia do dia 25 de agosto a 3 de setembro. E também tem uma em julho, coordenada pelo cacique mais geral da aldeia, que são vários líderes, e dentro da aldeia tem um mais que coordena mais geral, né, que é no mês de julho, que é do dia 13 a 23. Então deixo um convite aqui para os irmãos que se sentir, né, esse chamado assim de conhecer melhor de perto a cultura runicuim. Pode entrar em contato com a Matilde ou com o Guilherme, ou me procura também, né? Então a gente vai estar fazendo essa parceria junto. E damos todas as informações, né, de como as pessoas chegar, a gente ter o cuidado. E também vai ter uma programação, né? Durante esses 10 dias tem toda uma programação de que a gente vai realizar. Então é isso que eu queria compartilhar, né? E também tem alguns trabalho das mulheres, né, que a Matilde também, ela vem sempre ajudando as aldeias, né, ela trouxe alguns materiais, eu também trouxe. Então a gente deixa também disponível, se o irmão queira ajudar a aldeia também, né. E é isso que eu quero, né, poder agradecer aqui quero agradecer muito aqui pela paciência, porque a gente já sabe que conferência é assim, né, dá sono e às vezes, então... Mas é um momento que vale a pena a gente poder se sentar numa roda dessa e...
Okay. So, just to conclude this part, hopping into your question, I say, so really, I don't believe that today internet is about like weakness, like going our culture being weakened. But on the contrary, I think it can go give it a upper and richer, because we are in a moment actually that we as indigenous people from Amazonia, we feeling the calling, and we actually acting for putting our culture as more alive and as the basics that we need to work and share to the world. So we are already in a cultural moment of our indigenous story, that to reaffirm our roots and our originality, as we call as original people. So I do believe it can really works well when it's well done. And also we wish to talk to you a bit more about like two invitation is doing that are linked to that, because they say for you understanding better that we actually opening new cultural festivals that we're doing in my tribe, and that we opening people again, like to know and go deeper in this knowledge, in our things, in our way of living, our foods and so on. And there's also a possibility for you going in there and see what it's really going on and what you can take part of and doing your own sharings of knowledge and technologies if you have something that is calling you. So he gives a date like in his family and with him as a leader. It will be in end of August till September. And so for that, we're doing all an organization so that to be possible. We're also making a campaign so that we can help Nui to build the minimum structure for you being at home as you feel at home here. So you have a QR code over there so that you can see more about us, because we could talk a lot, because there's a lot of subjects we could go deeper today or any day. So you have more information about like how getting involved and how going there, how helping. So and say like, because one of the big projects he wants also it's about having internet in the next month so that we can keep connected also, because it's really about building a long-term bridge, so in both ways. So they like helping indigenous people, but understanding that we are the first one to be helped when we do so. So, and we would like to come back quite often, like to keep on the story alive. And we have other tribes, other communities that want to come, also sharing moments with you. So it's how we are. And last but not least, they say, yeah, we have some arts, like for after, if you want to see. So it's about like the cultural work of our women that cannot be here now, but that are sharing all the traditions through arts artisanal. So have a look to that. And now we wish like to open to some of the questions if you have, and also the possibility of other people bringing a song or a feeling or anything you want, like an instrument, so that we can co-create together. Someone? Sorry for my English. It was like always a huge adventure. And it's say thanks for the patience.
Pode fazer uma música de saideira, né?
Pode ser.
Guilherme
Que eu perguntei se tinha perguntas.
É mais bom, né? Se vocês terem alguma pergunta aí também.
Okay, if you have questions, it will be more now, because we would like to still make some like ending music. So after we can open like to others like flow if someone has some, or just go eating and so on. But so if you have a question, it would be more now. Yes?
Does he know Wigert Meerman? He wrote a book some time ago, Wigert, and he was in the clan of them. So it was a Dutch guy, Wigert Meerman, and he was at the Haxikloen clan.
He is Dutch?
Yeah, and he was there for 40 days.
So can you say again the name?
Wigert Meerman.
Okay, can you it's escritor daqui que fez evento recém que passou, que escreveu livro sobre Pohuni Queen. Mas não sei porque é que Pohuni Queen.
He wrote this book, and I think it's about the clan where he's from.
É que
Oh, it's not the name.
não tem, there is none in English.
Oh, but this is the name. Wigert Meerman.
So, ele está perguntando se você conhece esse nome, esse cara.
I can look him up. No, no, it's another tribe.
He said, yeah. Actually, like it's a good question, but like it's also too understanding. For example, only in Acre, where he is from, the state he's from, Uniqueen people, it's more than 17,000 people. And in all Amazonia, Brazilian Amazonia, it's around like 300 ethnicities. in which each one nearly has a tongue and a tradition and a relationship to nature and to our life, and all people, so has Unicorn people has like hundred of villages, like as we call tribe. So it's really a broad subject, and it's something sometimes we even don't imagine. Like as a French girl, even like going quite often in Amazon and now, like, or in different parts, because the Amazonia is so huge, it's hard to imagine. Like for example, the indigenous lands that Nui takes care of with 10 families that is leading, it's bigger than all Genebra. And we were there last week, and we're like here it's like 200,000 people in the same territory, and you have like 10 families that makes such a better job, and they are human people. So what's the point we missed? But there is every day more people that feeling the calling and doing great job, and it's good to know. Like, yeah, thank you.
It's a possibility to go to the Amazonia and be there for a month and do the ayahuasca stuff, and
Yes, like it's like as we said. So we helping him to go to his community, and we also go to other community, and we're welcoming people that wants to go, like at least for sharing something as it goes. So brothers are any kind of tourism, or even like spiritual tourism that had like made a lot of mistakes also, and as a lot of NGOs projects also that came with a occidental way mindset and didn't like hear so much indigenous people. So and understanding, for example, and is how Nui is building his program and how we work. It's not about like looking for ayahuasca or medicine. It's understanding like going there in their way of life, daily way of life, and sharing the best you are, like teaching something in the school. You're going to be cured or having what you need. And obviously, like you will have contact with the medicines you need. That can be ayahuasca, that can be so many other. Ayahuasca is just one medicine of billions, you know. So it's something very natural that they use in their also daily community life. But that's important, like to see not as going only in festival, like ayahuasca festival, because it's something that's not real for their way of life. They create sometimes ayahuasca festival to be in your patterns, like your patterns of comfort and a lot of medicines. But we believe and that we can all have better action and understanding and cure doing this way. He's doing actually. See?
There were many villages. Are there also villages that don't want to have access to internet, and who in the village does decide if they're getting internet or not? Is it a communal decision, or is it the leader who says yes or no?
Ela perguntou, eu respondi para ele, não foi muito específico, mas ela perguntou que vocês estão falando que tem muitos povos, muitas etnias lá, só no Acre, na Amazônia, mas eu quero saber, todo mundo quer internet, podemos generalizar, como seria se tem povos que não querem ter?
Quer falar?
Não, pode.
Pode falar, depois eu respondo. Tá, também, mas pode falar. O Matilde vai traduzindo aqui.
Just a second, because my computer has some trouble. I don't know why the cursor goes all the time to the bottom left, but I'm here. No, not all indigenous communities want internet. Yanomami people, for example, we heard a lot about. They don't want the contact. They just have the isolated people. The Hunikuin people, for example, they are like the frontiers to isolated people. So when we are giving support to Hunikuin people, they are also giving support to these isolated people also. When we look to the map, some villages are like the fortress of the forest. You see like one huge village, then you see a lot of forest and small villages, then the last farm, it's close from that village. And this is one way we are discovering this. The contact with Honequin people are 120 years around, but each case it's different. Matilde told about 305 ethnic groups in Brazil. We have more than 400 ethnic groups in whole Amazonia, because Brazil have 49% of the Amazonia. Amazonia have 8 countries plus 1 territory, French Guiana, and we have a lot of different conditions to be in there. But we are getting contact, getting in touch with a lot of Honequin people and other people from Amazonia, and I show a little bit of some images from Brasilia, for example, and we was in Brasilia during the ATL, the camping free land, from last year, and in there they was using a lot the mobile, for example, to exchange information with the villages, because Brasilia is the center of Brazil and someone needs to travel like 7 days to arrive in Brasilia. The people from Xingu, for example, and we are looking to this with a lot of care, a lot of what's the word? Humildade, como se diz? Humidity, sorry. A lot of humidity, because we don't want this responsibility, to take more things inside. For me, to put internet to them, it's more related with educational things and exchange culture, ethnotourism, but we need to talk with them, to listen them. Our movement, we start listening them. So what we are doing here, we are sharing what we are listening. We have proof about everything we are talking, because we have these documents, these images, and this is helping them also to meet each other, to understand what's happening in other villages, to understand the possibilities to have this kind of solution, for example, to have good water, to have energy, and why to have energy combined with water and energy. Like one lamp, women can work too much more. And they like it, they like it a lot to still doing work during the night around 9 p.m. Then go to sleep. And it's the thing I heard most about energy. It's about this time to work, to make the artisanias, for example. And what we are trying to understand is how to connect these solutions, integrating them to the economics. For example, with the artisanians or the medicines, how treat this, because people try to appropriate themselves, companies try to appropriate about the medicines. Acai, for example, it's one example. Someone from Japan registered acai, but it's something from Amazonia, and it's one of the 83 species who built this Amazonia we know. This is one very interesting information. It's the human behavior who builds the Amazonia we know today. And it's a story about 11,000 years. So Amazonia is about the action of human beings, exchanging seeds. And this is what we are trying to do when we are getting in contact, and we do like this structure inside the villages also, to show to them what we are doing in not only in that village, but in the other, what is happening. And we are calling this Forest TV, Floresta TV. So the answer is no, not everyone wants internet or any kind of solution, but today we need to think about that, because water, it's basic stuff, and a lot of places don't have conditions to have good water. Mining, for example, it's destroying a lot of rivers in Brazil, and we need to look to this, and we need to think how to act and to put internet in some place with them having the control what kind of content for what this internet could serve to the community, and it could be an alert point. If they are connected, it's okay, and if they are disconnected, someone needs to make them maintain, so we can be more close to understand the necessities, the reality, and what we can do to protect this whole biome called Amazonia.
Só complementar pouquinho, né? Também. O Guilherme falou tudo. A realidade é essa mesmo, né? Para ela que fez a pergunta, né? Então, hoje a tecnologia ela já avançou no Acre, né? Porque vários líderes hoje já levaram, né? Tecnologia. E porque imagina bem, se você mora no meio de uma mata, no meio da escuridão, não tem luz para iluminar, né? Vamos dizer que isso nós já vivemos quando nós não tinha contato com o mundo ocidental. Então, por exemplo, a luz ela ajudou muito, né? As crianças se sentir mais bem, confortável, dormir. Apaga a luz todinha aqui que alguém vai se sentir um pouco incomodado com o escuro, né? Então, a luz ajuda isso, né? Tipo, as mulheres trabalhar mais à noite. Tem uma festa que tá reunindo todas as aldeias, então a clareza da luz é para isso, para dançar, né? Para ver, né? Ver quem tá chegando, quem tá saindo. E é como o Guilherme falou, né? Hoje aquele líder também que não quer levar a tecnologia para sua aldeia, que nós estamos falando do povo Runicuim, né? Mas existe vários e, como eu falei, quase todas as aldeias do Acre tem, né? É que eu tô falando pela minha, né? Pela minha que tá faltando implantar, então meu papel como líder é poder levar isso aí, né? Então aquele que ele também vê que ele quer viver mais tradicional, ninguém vai contra o, né? Vamos dizer, o destino, o pensamento dele, né? Mas é isso, né? E de uma maneira ela vai poder contribuir. E se também a gente estiver achando que está prejudicando, a gente acaba na aldeia. Nós temos porta-voz para isso, né? Então, se a gente achar que está indo bem, a gente continua seguindo.
Thank you. So yes, and we wanted to just give some more information. Like you said, Guilherme has been quite complete. But like he said, yes, for example, the question of the light, since we had our first contact to civilization, so for Runicuin people it started like about 120 years, like not really like we had the wish and the need to have a minimum as you do have. Like it says, like, let's make an experience that now we cut all the lights. And what's going on, like, as you receive this, yeah, it can be, but like, I will just finish traducing because if not, I will lose. But it says, like, it's understanding, for example, for them, concretely, having just one panel solar, helps having one collective house with lights that can help them to, for the woman, keep on doing their arts at night. Because it's about like a lot of precision and vision and so on. It helps also like about the children, like being able to play or being like in security place also at night, because if not you have like more risk for children. He says also about like making collective groups and reunions, meetings, as they do like. Sometimes having like lights, it helps. So, and anyway, he says, I'm talking about my community, that it's what we feel we need and would like to have implemented to keep on our studying and our collective way of life. But I'm talking about me, about my community, Runicuin people, and not about all. If someone doesn't want, like, we super respect the way of life or other groups of ethnicity. So if we implement something new in our community and we see it's not positive, We are daily in meetings with our community, our village. So we talk about that, and we are always open to change the line and keep taking off technology. But it's about trying and having consciousness of what is good, not good. And I do believe it could be really good for my community, so that's why I'm asking for it. As if you want to have, yeah.
I'm sorry that I.
No, sorry for me.
It's just what for me is a bit difficult to hear, but everybody can have their own opinion. It's just, I think in the world where we live now, I think we should. Hoe zeg je dat? Implement more what the traditions are of your people. You understand what I'm saying? And not the other way around. I feel like
you can talk and I can do.
No, so I feel like in the world we live in, we lack that knowledge that I think has kept your people alive so long and your culture preserved for so long. And I think it's because of here we are always working from 8 to because of the light and everything we have, and I think it has also a lot of bad how do you say it? Bad things also. It brings also bad things like mental issues and sicknesses that consequences.
Thank you, it's very interesting.
Não, acho que é a maneira de ela pensar, né? Nós já esclarecemos, né? Isso aí, né? O que eu realmente continuo dizendo, né? Que o povo indígena, ele tem uma consciência diferente, né? De poder fortalecer aquilo que é de raiz. Então, não em todas as aldeias, né? Mas o Caucho, mais ou menos, tem uns 5 a 6 anos, né? A aldeia mais central, a tecnologia e todo mundo acessa, e graças a Deus até agora não perdemos a cultura, né? Continuamos fortalecendo. Então, às vezes muitas pessoas podem pensar isso, né? Que vai acabar, mas eu acho difícil a cultura do povo originário morrer. Eu sei que não existe mais nenhum índio na aldeia.
So what Nui answers is he super understand your concerns, but he says actually he's talking about facts. So his village is made of 7 groups. He's leader from 1 groups, and there are 885 people in total. In the middle of the communities there is one group who has a school, so we see kind of a lot of image of that before. Maybe Guillaume can show it. So there is a school and there is internet in this part of the tribe, in the school, for now 5 years. And he says that since it happened, it only get the culture stronger. It only get educational involvement stronger. Because he says it's true that here we lived a lot of bad impacts of culture, but of technology, but also because we have another way of life, which is not so much inclusive and so much collective. So actually, in the tribe, and now I'm talking more about what we have seen on the field, and not generalizing, but it's about when we've been there or any other Unicorn tribe, we see really a possibility of very good inclusion of technologies and culture. First, it's question of it's happening. Second, it's a right. And third, it's a tool that really can help. So now, how we can make the difference? As you say, it's about educating people. It's about like forming them, because we see, for example, in the field when we were there, where we go in the tribe, we put the system like with a projector and so on, like the system we can, because there is just one solar panel, and we try to share lots of image and building movies together, and we see a lot of interest of all the tribe. Like just the first night, everybody is here, and the second night, all the neighbors are here, and so on, and they're super curious, and they give us like ideas, like super creative, super collective, but like, we can change maybe this program to be more colorful, more collectiveful, more, So they're sort of learning us back about how we can have a broader vision of this kind of tool, as to be at service of culture and humanity, and not the contrary. And so it's something like, for example, when they have fun, we can see that they're trying to use a lot to film them, dancing, singing, and after you see at night, all the young people, come to see how we were today, like how dancing, singing, we should do that better, or dancing like that. We received a video of another tribe doing another rite, can we share, So it's about understanding that our mindset, it's one mindset, their mindset is different, and they can really introduce technology to from another way, and they can maybe learn us back, the basics, how to use it. And last but not least, like really when we're there, like for example, the community of Nui is quite hybrid, because they already had internet for quite a long time. But for example, Nui is living apart, and many other groups are like kind of far away, and they're living super traditional, like very traditional food, traditional rhythm, with no light yet, and they're doing it. But also they know that when it's needful to share like message to the world, or to protect the territory, or to educate the child, they are able to take a phone, and talk to us and talk to you. So it's how they're doing, and how it can be positive and useful for me, at least from my point of view. Many questions.
It's very interesting. So we saw these beautiful communities in the forest and with the technology they can have more comfort in their lives. Now they are connected, and let's give those communities to be more conscious. But I wonder, from that on the food, are they able to raise their own food, or are they dependent?
Como está por dentro hoje é a questão da autonomia alimentar. Hoje, como conseguem ter autonomia alimentar, eles estão dependendo da cidade.
I think before they were different to raise their own food, they were independent. And I asked him,
porque do que eu sei antes, eles totalmente dependentes, né? Eles estudaram mesmo.
Então, essa parte aí, né, a gente, vamos dizer que ainda estamos trabalhando ainda, né, mas em uma sustentabilidade melhor de alimentação, né. Então, uma parte, né, a aldeia tem como, né, vamos dizer, o que é da nossa tradição, né, como a banana, macaxeira, né, batata, né, cari, inhame, cana e abacaxi, algumas frutas como o açaí também. E na realidade a aldeia depende sempre, assim, os alevinos, que são peixes, também tá tendo, né, alguns açudes que as famílias estão criando dentro da aldeia, como criação de aves, mas ainda precisa de algum apoio mais, né, para ter mais autonomia. Ainda tem momento que ainda depende um pouco da cidade, assim, algumas coisas, por exemplo, de transformar melhor, né, porque vamos dizer, alguns alimentos que não tem na aldeia, as famílias pegam da cidade porque é a única opção, né? Então precisa trabalhar mais forte nessa parte aí. Mas antes era mais dependente da cidade, né? E hoje eu vejo que nós crescemos mais um pouco, né? Mas ainda precisa trabalhar mais um projeto nessa área e forte, né? Para que possamos, como ele falou, ter mais autonomia nessa parte aí da plantação, alimentação.
So you said like a very good question. So actually, yeah, so we used formally to live quite totally independent, and it's true that since we had contact with the city, and also that our way of life changes because we were nomad and we were being able to cultivate everywhere. Now we're limited on our territories, so everything changed, and I also understanding pollution and everything. So they started to be sometimes more dependent to the city with some elements they didn't produce or they couldn't produce anymore. But it's something that they were working a lot on. They are doing a lot of projects and works about getting back to their own food sovereignty. So we can see some images like before of mandioca. He says about like the traditional. Actually, like in Unican people, it's a deal about like four main aliments, which is mandioc, maize, corn, banana, and peanuts. So they was a plant, and they also eat a lot of fish and a lot of like meat that they go hunting. And now, like the two last one are really difficult to find because with the pollution, like they said, the fish were this side like 10 years ago, and now they're like this side. So they need to know new knowledge and technologies also to invert this tendency. So for example, you say about like making psychocultural lakes, so as they can have fish again, and they are looking for projects and knowledge about like the food diversity, but planting fruits and so on. But sometimes they don't have the seeds or they don't have the knowledge to look for it. So, and it's something very good, very important they're working on. Thank you.
So, my question was like lady. So we are trying here in Europe. We are trying to go back to the basics. And
minha esposa na Europa está trabalhando com rede na Europa
to import from far away our food.
Alimento local para evitar de
and I think it's the best way to
acredito que é a melhor forma de guardar
the knowledge to be independent
o conhecimento de ser uma cultura
abroad, from
independente
cities, and to keep the forest, to protect the forest instead of cutting all the wood. And I don't know if internet is there a value for or is giving how do you say, is helping to keep that kind of life. We are away from the nature, and you still have the contact with the nature, and please keep that contact.
But they don't have the knowledge that we have to clean the rivers and all of these things. So they are in a different era. So we have the sorry. Keep going. That's what I mean.
Tá bom então. Pode responder, né?
Tu quer responder não?
Eu acho que é importante, né? Como eu tive falando, né? Legal aí a sua ideia. E a gente tá trabalhando nisso, né? A gente continua trabalhando para que possamos ter uma vida mais de autonomia, né? Na alimentação, sem depender da cidade. E se a gente encontra parceiros que queiram nos ajudar, a gente estamos juntos para poder fazer nessa parceria. Então, é isso que eu posso falar, que de passo a passo a gente vai trabalhando os projetos da aldeia, né? Nem tudo a gente consegue de uma vez, mas que esse é o nosso objetivo como líder da aldeia e junto com as famílias, né? De viver uma vida mais dentro da floresta sem estar muito na cidade, né? Se poluindo. Então, ter mais uma vida mais natural com a floresta.
So he said, thanks a lot for your question, very important. Cause yes, it's you like touch a very important point, like food sovereignty is like the basics for us being even more independent and focusing also on what's most important, our culture and way of life, and it's actually what we're doing. But sometimes we need help so that we can keep on and going broader. So that's why we are super open about like ideas, project, and also shared learnings that could go through internet. Like tomorrow, like maybe you could give your knowledge and permacultural knowledge or other like many things that are being created here that can help them, and in both sense, like they could teach us also about like keeping related to this whole nature and the whole vision, so that we can go broader in our job here. So that's why he's here, also traveling and sharing this moment with us. He wanted to offer music now to feel that what we shared. And I think after we'll be a bit more opening more about like musical sharing if someone wants, at least, I don't know, because we're nearly on the time. And if there is other question, like we invite you to talk with us, like we are there showing us all the arts. And even more that tomorrow we have another meeting to go deeper in the creation, deeper in the cultural exchange, because we'll be with more musicians, so we'll make the system so that we can also dance and so on. So hope maybe, yeah?
Just one more.
Uh-huh.
The internet is also useful because we are being killed for the research.
Yes.
So it's a way of protection.
Yeah, definitely.
Very important.
Yeah, it's very like understanding it today. Yeah, technologies as a security, and like it's not about accusing, but like already also sharing the truth of what's going on and the possibilities of action we can do all together. And it's super true. Thank you. So yeah, and so if you want to know more, like because some people might need to leave now, you have this QR code that connect you to a project or crowdfunding pages also with Nui, so that you can also make your own research about like all what we shared and talk to us like to go broader. We're super open and happy to do this exchanges. Cool.
Finalizar com a música. Então, vamos cantar a última música aqui pra agradecer aqui esse momento. Fazer uma dançazinha aí, Matilde.
So yes, just for getting up and dancing. But there is like a traditional song that we try to, it's like like Chimoya. I will show you. I will try.
Quer fazer? make, shukuru na make, shukuru na make, shukuru na make. Pata Shinamatsi pata
Sim.
Deixar aqui, aí não começou.
I think only gratitude and thanks for opening your heart.
Obrigada por abrir teu coração para nós.
And thank a lot for Dirk for hosting us here.
Muito obrigada por
Very warm. And yeah, as always, it's a very warm place here. Thanks for opening your doors. Dank jullie wel ook voor jullie aandacht, diepe aandacht. Ik moet zelf toegeven dat voor mij soms echt diepe dingen waren, waar ik ook niet meteen bij kon. Dus ik denk dat het voor mij persoonlijk ook goed gaat zijn om morgenavond nog eens te joinen en misschien iets vanzelfsprekender erin te rollen. Maar super bedankt om jullie aandacht. Als je feedback hebt, strooi die maar ook over mij, want dan kan ik dat terugkoppelen voor morgen, dat we daar morgen ook niet zo mooi van maken. Dus merci. Ja, we hebben een beetje, normaal in België doen we eerst eten en dan al de rest. Maar ik weet niet of er nog mensen hongerig zijn. Dirk had wel iets op de menu staan, dus als jullie nog zin hebben in een vegetarische... Of gaat je er niet meer aan beginnen vanavond? Je mocht het eerlijk... Oké, maar hoe je wil, even horen bij hem. Ja, merci. Dikke merci. Merci voor prachtig beeldmateriaal. Het is echt top wat jullie maken. Allee, het is echt om vingers bij af te likken. Ik kan niet zeggen in Engels. You can really eat with your images. Like you can really like feel and eat and participate with the images. So really, really nice. Thank you, heren, Mathilde. Bye.
See you tomorrow, and for more future exchanges.
Ik bedoel, zeg dan.
Ja.